somebody that's like, okay, you got my attention, Jerry. You're right, man. I need to stop messing around. This credit thing is more serious than I've been giving it credit. No pun intended.
You were waiting to say that, I think. I think it was in the back of your mind.
Freestyle.
You were waiting to say that.
That was off the top of the dome.
But I think you were waiting to say that.
All right. So they're ready. Where do they begin? What do they need to do first? They believe you. They're ready. Mm-hmm. They're tired of being ignorant, but they don't know what step to endeavor at next.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to give you 3 steps, my friends. 3 steps to start improving your credit. The first step is you got to pull your credit reports. That is the first step. You've got to pull your credit reports. Now, you can do this a couple of ways. You could do it for free at annualcreditreport.com. They will give you all 3 of your credit reports for free. They only do this every 12 months. A revolving 12 months is when you can get a free report. Now, they don't give you your scores. If you want to get your scores, you'll have to get your FICO score from myfico.com. Or you can use like Credit Karma. They give you some scores, but they're a different type of score. So if you want your FICO, your true score, you will have to go to myfico.com. But the first things first is you do have to pull all 3 of your credit reports and scores. These are your Equifax, these are your Experian, and these are your TransUnion reports. Now, once you pull your reports, you want to get them in your hand. You want to get you a highlighter. Something like this, a little highlighter. And then you want to highlight any derogatory or negative account that is reporting on your credit. Now, there are a lot of different types of negative accounts. It could be a bankruptcy, a charge off. It could be a late payment. It could be a delinquent student loan. It could be a collection account, a medical bill. There's a lot of different types of accounts that could be on your credit right now. But all I want you to do is I want you to highlight what is negative, what is reporting negative on your credit. Because sometimes I do have some of my students that'll start disputing on their credit, but they'll dispute the positive stuff. You don't want the positive stuff to go. You want the positive stuff to stay. So highlight the negative marks. This is the name of the account, the account number, and then I want you to highlight even some of the inconsistencies that are on your credit report, because you're going to have to move into step 2, which is to dispute the errors that are on your credit report. Now, you should know that even if something on your credit report belongs to you, you can still dispute it. You can still dispute it if it belongs to you. And you can legally even get it off because you have rights as a consumer. You have a couple of major rights as a consumer. You have the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You've got the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. There's a lot of different acts that you should know about. But nevertheless, these are your rights that you can start leveraging to clean up your credit reports from errors. Now, these errors could be the date that the account was opened, or maybe even the balance history, or maybe even the date or the last payment. There's so many different errors that you could probably pinpoint on your credit report, and errors nothing erroneous, nothing outdated, none of that. It cannot be reporting on your credit. Your report has to be 100% accurate, 100%. You would be amazed at how many credit reports have errors on them. You'd be amazed at how many credit reports have errors on them. But all you got to do is pinpoint it. Now, once you pinpoint the errors, then what you're going to do is you're going to dispute them. You're going to write a dispute letter. Now, we have a lot of videos on our, our YouTube channel. And on our YouTube channel, we explain a lot about how you can dispute information on your credit reports and how you can raise your scores. But you do have to dispute this stuff on your credit if you want to start raising your credit scores, because you got to clean up your reports. You got to clean up your reports of the negatives so you can just reflect positively, right? So get the negative stuff off. Start writing dispute letters. Now, you can write a dispute letter to the credit bureaus, and you can write dispute letters to the creditors. I advise that you do both, okay? Write it to the credit bureau, which is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. And then you also write another letter to the actual creditor, which could be Sprint or Verizon or the person that actually has an account out on you, okay? So write those dispute letters and send it, okay? After they receive the letter, after they receive it, they have 30 days to respond to you and let you know what the outcome is of the dispute/investigation. Now, they may tell you that the information that you're disputing is valid and it should be on your credit reports. A lot of the times that's false. So what you have to do is keep following up. You got to keep following up. Follow up is key if you want to be successful in credit repair. If you want to be successful, you just got to keep following up. Now, after you start cleaning up your credit reports, after you start seeing some of those derogatory information being cleaned off your reports, then you're going to move into step 3, which is rebuilding your credit file. Okay. Your credit file needs a host of different things. It needs some credit cards reporting. It needs a couple of paid off loans. You can also add some of your utilities now. You can use Experian Boost. Experian Boost can now report some of those utilities that you're paying that's not reporting on your credit right now, right? Like your cell phone, or your water bill, or your electricity bill. Those aren't reporting your credit unless you don't pay them, right? Unless you don't pay it, then they're going to go into collections, and then it's reporting on your credit. But by then, you don't want it to report on your credit. So then you start rebuilding. Get a couple of loans, get some credit cards, a secured credit card. You can get rental history reported on your credit. If you're a renter right now, go to rentreporters.com. They can report the last 2 years of your rental payments to your credit reports. So there's so many different ways to go about the rebuilding, but it's just a three-phase process. Pull your reports and highlight any negative accounts, dispute and follow up, and then step 3, rebuild, rebuild, rebuild.